But now, modern Sonic, regular modern Sonic, is more powerful. Or at least on the same level of power as Supersonic was back in the Adventure era. Again, like the marketing calls these levels the Dreamcast era. This is the Dreamcast. This is the Dreamcast. This is not the Dreamcast. It's not the Dreamcast era. Sonic Heroes was not on the Dreamcast. Don't call it the Dreamcast era. It was the Adventure era. That's what I call it. So in the Adventure era, like, this is the weird halfway point where these levels, the classic levels, are appropriate for classic Sonic, but easy mode for modern Sonic, which is why he's going through the environments in a way he never did before. These areas should be an interim of degree more difficult for classic Sonic. Genesis-era Sonic, who didn't have the homing attack. This was when he was, like, stepping out into the third dimension and developed the homing attack in order to assist him in going through the third dimension. Classic Sonic don't have the homing attack, so how is he getting through these levels? He's going through kind of a sequestered off section of these levels, interestingly enough. Like 80% of this level was going through a parking garage with classic Sonic. A good, like, most of this level was going through a park. You weren't really racing down the highway. You weren't really escaping the city. You were going through kind of a park environment. And a little bit of a spoiler, but going through this area, you go through, like, a temple. You're going through a more platform-oriented temple level, which is just one section of what that level was back in Sonic Heroes. So you're seeing a different side of these levels, but it's a smaller, easier, more palatable section of the level that's appropriate for little baby classic Sonic. But then compare that to modern Sonic, who's going through these environments that, with an ability that he didn't have when he went through them originally. Adventure-era Sonic didn't have the boost. Now modern Sonic's going through these levels with the boost. And it's just utterly, like, it's not even fair, dog. Yeah! And here with Act 2, we have a remix of Escape from the City.
Set me free, trust me and we can escape from the city. I'll make it through all the way.
So what's funny to me about these levels when playing them as modern Sonic is you're kind of going through them like it feels like you're just obliterating these levels. With like the classic levels, you were going through a new section of the level that you had never gone through before. Whereas with these levels, you're going through the same route that you did, and I might be dead. Woo, doggy. You're going through the same environment, the same basic geometry that you did in the original game. But it's like so much, it's like Kiwami Means Extreme version of the level. Like it's been amplified on steroids in order to accommodate the boost. And it gives this real sensation of Sonic just rocketing through these stages on a degree that he was never able to go through them before. And like by that same comparison, again, we had Kid Goku fighting Frieza. Now we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku fighting Frieza. That's the difference in degree that we have. And that's gets to a little bit of interesting trivia is, I don't want to say originally, because it's not like, yeah, look at how more extreme the gun truck is now. It's got giant buzzsaws on it and shit. And it's just destroying this entire neighborhood. That's so funny to me. See what I mean by Kiwami means extreme? Still can't keep up because we got the boost, motherfucker! And now it is driving... Oh shit, not yet. And now the truck is driving on the wall. It is driving on the wall to catch Sonic. It's out for his little blue blood. Aww. Fuck you, gun truck. Yeah, Kiwami means extreme. I don't want to say originally, because people throw this little factoid of trivia around like they cut an entire third style of gameplay from the game. That's not what happened. But, like, hold on. After this, I'll continue what I was going to say.
Thanks, Big Blue.
Big Blue.
That's the first time I've ever been stolen.
That's tits. That's what his face is saying! That was just a, oh, them titties face. I like Rouge's new voice. I feel like that's a really good Femme Fatale voice. I really hope she's in Sonic Forces. People throw this around like, oh, originally, but then it got cut. No, I feel like it's more of a, like an idea kind of thing. Like, imagine there's a room of Sonic team members all sitting around going, okay, what should we have in the anniversary game? And someone goes, hey, wouldn't it be a fun little idea if we had a third Sonic to represent the Dreamcast era of Sonic, and he would play, and we would have like Act 1, 2, and 3, and he would have the homing attack but not the boost, and he would still go through the levels in 3D. Wouldn't that be a cool thing? Yeah, but nah, that wouldn't really make sense, so... Oh my god, what? Infinite continues. I don't even remember. Oh, on the Genesis. Okay. Shit, I should have used this to do that playthrough of the original game. God damn, I wouldn't have had to embarrassingly steal someone else's footage. Yeah, now you can really easily tell the difference. I fucking did. Oh, I need to collect it? Yeah. Now you can really easily tell the difference between the physics of classic Sonic and the physics of the Genesis games. Let's peek in there real quick. Like, again, you might not necessarily get this from video unless you had it, like, side by side. But again, when you actually play it, you can really feel the difference. You can tell that classic Sonic that you played through Act 1 with plays, like, tangibly differently from how he played in the original Genesis games. Like, one of the things that defines the original Genesis games is the physics with the weight. There's so much gravity to how you go through in the original Genesis games. Like, if you do not have enough momentum, you can't even get over a minor slope like that. That's why the invention of the spin dash is such an innovation in Sonic 2, because it allows you to have maximum momentum from a dead stop, so you wouldn't have those frustrating instances from the original game where we wouldn't be able to get up a fucking slope. But, like, it's a minor thing, but it does control differently, and some people hold that up as like, aw, classic Sonic isn't as good, it's not good because it's not the Genesis. But what's so fucking great about the original Genesis physics? Like, it's unique, it definitely plays differently, it accomplishes what it set out to do, which was to differentiate itself from Mario, both in how it feels and how high speed you're able to get through the levels. Like, it emphasized speed almost over almost everything else. Although even that, they would get a lot more out of control with it in the later games. But, like, it's not like it's perfect. It's not like the original Genesis games were flawless. Go back and watch those playthroughs I did of them. I talked extensively about their flaws. I don't, like, it. That's why it's so confusing to me to hear people go like, oh, it doesn't play like the Genesis. That means it's bad. As if the Genesis controls were fucking perfect. As if they were flawless. As if that is the pinnacle to which all platforming controls can ever be. And anything that isn't those classic Genesis Sonic game controls just ain't as good. I do not see that whatsoever. You can totally have different physics. I don't see the big fucking deal. Like, it's not better or worse, it's just different. It's different physics, and it has its own brand of problems and advantages compared to the Genesis physics. The Genesis physics had their advantages that the new physics do not have. They don't have those advantages. Oh shit. Like, there's things the original Genesis physics did that were measurably better. But there's things that the Genesis games did that were measurably worse. And the new physics are better. Fucking hate Sonic 1. So I don't see why, oh, it's not the Genesis physics is an indictment. That's an observation, not a criticism. You fucking hacks. Anyway. So that's an interesting piece of trivia. Like, that's what I think it was. It was, like, they interviewed someone from Sega, and they were like, yeah, when we were talking about what we wanted to put in Sonic Generation, someone said, hey, wouldn't it be cool to have, like, a third Sonic to represent the Dreamcast era, and bring back Jason Griffith to do the voice? That would be kind of cool, right? Yeah, but, like, that wouldn't really make sense also, because we're doing, like, Act 1, Act 2... And, like, that would be weird. How would that even work? Like, it would just be modern Sonic, but without the boost. Like, that doesn't really make sense. Yeah, but it would have been... That's an idea that was raised in the discussion. And people throw that around, like that little anecdotal story. And people throw that around like, oh, they were originally gonna have a Dreamcast-era Sonic, and they cut it from the game. Like... There's a difference between, like, cut content and pre-production trivia. That's what that is. It's pre-production trivia. It's not cut content. Another example of that is people throw this around like, oh, it's cut. They didn't go through it. No, it's pre-production trivia. That, again, you can see this as being like they interviewed someone from Sega, and they said, someone tossed around the thought of wouldn't it be cool if, and they're taking that and going and taking it seriously. They're taking that, oh, someone said wouldn't it be cool if, and the interviewer's going, oh, originally they wanted to have Steve Urkel do the voice acting for classic Sonic. Like, people throw that around like that was gonna be in the game. That was never gonna be in the game. They were never gonna get Steve Urkel to do the voice acting for classic Sonic. Don't be an idiot. That was just a fun little thing that someone probably said as a funny idea during the pre-production. Goddamn you, Piranha Plant! During the pre-production stage of the game. As a funny little anecdotal story, and people take, like... Yay, thanks, Orca, buddy. Like, people take these... Like, people... This is why, like, interviews are always the worst, because... Another example... This is not related to Sonic, but an example of that... That's a good example of of the thing I'm trying to talk about, is Brianna Pratchett, who wrote the reboot Tomb Raider game, said... Oh, it would have been cool. I had the thought of, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Lara was gay with her buddy Sam? Wouldn't it have been cool? But, like, obviously that's not what I did. It's not what I would have done. But that's a thought I had as a writer, you know, when I'm tossing around ideas. Headline: writer of Tomb Raider reboot wanted to make Lara Croft gay. oh, she wanted to make her gay, but then the seats wouldn't let her do that. Like, no! Fuck, these game journalists are just such a bunch of fucking idiots. Like, game developers can't just have a funny little thing. Another example of that, before Tekken 7 came out, the guy who does Tekken made a joke on his Twitter saying, like, oh, I was gonna put Robbie Jr., the kangaroo, in the game, but PETA complained, so I'm not putting it in. LOL. Clearly a joke. Clearly a joke. And what are the headlines? PETA controversy forces Tekken developer to cut a character from the American release. Like, literally just fucking fibbing and spreading deliberate misinformation for the sake of clickbait. That's what it is. Deliberately spreading misinformation and not understanding what a fucking joke is. These developers are making, like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? Making a fun, make a little funny joke. People print it as if it was a serious thing, and people take it seriously, and then they make Did You Know gaming videos where they say stupid shit. So that's what, like, those two comparative examples is what the, oh, we were gonna have a Dreamcast era Sonic, oh, we're gonna have Steve Urkel's character. No, they weren't. That is a funny little story that a developer told an interviewer, and they printed it as if it was serious, and you just read that and went, ah, because you're an idiot. No, I know how to do wall jumps. We did that earlier in Green Hill Zone. So that's one of the big improvements from Sonic Colors is tapping the trigger buttons to go left or right. But hold on. This is important. Can't talk about that yet. Let's go, guys, there's a goal we're pursuing. Knuckles, what in the heck are you doing? I'm gonna use you gadgets, boxing gloves. Wait, what? Boom, flush, crack. Only one more pillar left. Stop, nuts, we're getting bleeding to death. Just a sec. I've got one more rock to shove. I don't see the point of this quest. You will surely meet a great fate. Oh, come on, Chad, don't be so depressed. Worthless. Consumer models annihilate. My ears propel us through the air. Whoa, Big, please don't stare. Froggy, are you up there? Where's the rest of us? Can't be far. Mighty's in some bar, don't know where the rest are. Heavy and bomb avra. Sorry, I can't not do it. I love this remix, by the way. A Seaside Denied. Anyway. So, one of the things that they took from Sonic Colors and improved on was in Sonic Colors, in order to sidestep, you couldn't really sidestep whenever you wanted in Sonic Colors. It was sort of a designated sidestep area kind of thing, just like it had weird designated drifting areas. What the fuck? What's happening? Like, occasionally you would have that little pop-up at the bottom of the screen go, okay, use the left stick, tilt it left and right in order to do that, basically. And you would occasionally have, like, okay, hold down the stick and press the button in order to drift, and you had boost disabled, and instead you would do a drift. Yeah, this shitty fucking card section. But in Sonic Generations, how they improved on that was they just, I don't know why they couldn't have done this in Sonic Colors itself, by the way. They took the sidestepping and just added it to the bumpers. Instead of having a designated sidestep zone where you kind of run automatically and you press left and right on the stick in order to sidestep. Now you can sidestep whenever you want. And he does little rolly rolls. Look at him rolly rolling! So that is a marked improvement. Jeez, fuck. Whew. Ah, fuck that up. That is a marked improvement over how Sonic controlled in Sonic Colors that they improved upon. Damn it. Here with Sonic Generations. And again, like, in many, many ways, Sonic Generations is better than Sonic Colors in terms of how it controls. They definitely took both from Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors and improved upon both. So this game definitely plays the best out of all of the modern 3D Sonic games. But, like I said, I feel like this game's a little unfinished. Like, not... It's such a weird... It's like, it's a hard statement to make, almost. Where I don't mean to say, like, it's not finished, like it was rushed out the door, but it feels like they didn't have the time to do everything that they wanted to do with this game. Like, there were some ideas that were left on the cutting room floor. Again, difference between pre-production trivia and things that were left on the cutting room floor. It does feel like, compared to Sonic Colors, there's so much more of this game that was left on the cutting room floor compared to Sonic Colors, which it felt like everyone threw an idea in a fucking hat and they just put all that shit in the game. Compared to this, it feels like there was no hat, and even the heads of development, the ideas they wanted to put in, didn't have time to even put all those ideas in. Yeah.
So I think we've pieced together more of what's happening, and it's not good. Whoa! When that thing goes through time, it tears space apart, leaving the areas empty and dead, and sticking them in this weird white limbo. When the Sonics accelerate through time, they fix space, returning color and life.
The Sonics.
Then I guess we have to run like there's no tomorrow, or there won't be a tomorrow.
Yeah, I do that. No. Yeah, SBO. I think it's funny that SBO gets associated with Sonic Heroes. I mean, that's fair, at least.
It takes a mighty foe to trap a ninja. Be on your guard, Sonic.
Oh, dog! SBO has such a killer new voice. Oh, man. So gonna be cool to have him in Forces. Characters that have been confirmed as being in Sonic Forces. Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, the Chaotix. So, at minimum, I am excited to see the Chaotix get pushed for SummerSlam in the new game. Especially since SBO has such a fucking great new voice. God damn. That was killer.
Sonic.
Serious stuff. I guess it is kind of appropriate that he gets associated with Sonic Heroes, since that's where Chaotix got reintroduced into the series after only being in that one game. For some reason, it always seems weird to me that Rouge gets associated with City Escape, even though that totally makes sense because Rouge was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2. She's kind of the only character who is being associated with the level from the game she's actually from. Like, even Knuckles is next to a level from Sonic and Knuckles. But I've already had that rant. It's like Knuckles, Rouge, and that's it. Like, every other character is just being stuck next to a level from a game that's more appropriate, but isn't actually the game they're from. Cream isn't from Sonic Adventure. SBO isn't from Sonic Heroes. And then the characters we're gonna get to after this chunk. Also, they're just being stuck with next to the game that, like, well, we had to put them next to some game. Let's do these with modern Sonic first. This time. This is actually not that hard. It's basically, like, for all intents and purposes, this is a don't get any damage run of the level.
Help you with the rings, Mr. Sonic. Press the Y button if you need me.
I won't. Thank you. Although it is cool to see Cream flying along and keeping up with us. Yeah, like, it's like Cream, with her relative power level, is at where Tails was at circa Sonic 2. Because she's flying along, keeping up with Sonic on the skateboard. No, fuck. How did that even happen? Because she's keeping up with Sonic on his skateboard. I just think that's pretty cute to see her flapping along alongside us, along with the Chow. Once again, hilarious to see the Chow running around next to Sonic in these new games. No Chow Garden, but we have little side missions where the Chows show up. That's always adorable. Look at them, they got little rings. They're gonna drop the wings to help. I can't jump, what's going on? I couldn't jump. Same thing happened. Come on. That's so weird. Like, I can jump now, but when I dropped from the grind rail, for some reason I couldn't jump. Peculiar. But yeah, really cute to see Cream running around with us. Flying along with her stupid ears. That's so dumb and weird. That she can fly with her big bunny ears. Do I ship Cream and Tails? Yes. Do I ship the bunny and the fox? Yes, I do. I don't know why you even had to question me on this. Fuck! And again, I think this whole level is skating, is boarding down the street. I don't think you get off of it. Here we're off of it. Yep. Whee! But we are just going through like little platformy sections now, and not like racing down the street at the speed of sound. So it still makes sense that Cream can kind of keep up. And even there, like, it looked like she got fucking dragged backwards a little bit. There we go. Where's the end here? Ah, fuck's sake. Okay, Cream, help me out. Thank you. And now look, the Chow disappeared. He went back to his home planet. He just poofed in a puff of blue Chow smoke. Get all these, every wing that we didn't use gives us an extra little bit of time to boost our score there. And now let's go back down and see the extra dialogue we got from Cream.
Wow!
Was that any help? Let me know if you ever need me again. I probably won't. Oh man, Cream, I really hope you're in Sonic Forces. That would be so badass.